okay.
Okay. So that is one good news for us. Volta region has not been recording structural collapse, and they do not wish that it happens there. Sir, I understand as a young officer, you used to write a lot for the newspapers to use as the editorials. What kind of urged you to be able to do that?
Well, I think the writing skills was a hidden talent, because I've not been writing. But when we went to cadet training,
Okay.
I realized that the place was so dull. So I started remembering when I was attending school at Bando Technical.
Oh, okay.
They have something they call critical writers. So I set my mind back and I said, how can I make these people and the institution very lively?
Wow.
So I decided to start writing. And the first one I wrote was a match that we're going to play between Alpha and Bravo.
Okay.
So I just took paper and started writing something. And then it became something that has to come out.
Oh, okay. So out of necessity, the Oxygen commander, now seated, started writing. And I went through a couple of his writing and I realized that, oh, okay, it means that when given the needed platform, he could do much more better. All right. So now zooming on into the main discussion, we understand that your region has recorded some number of incidents within the first 6 or 7 months this year as compared to last year. Can you give us a general overview as to the trend of the incidents? Which areas do you normally record a lot of fires, accidents, be invasion, bushfires, and what have you? Our listeners want to know.
Okay. This year, as at the end of June, we've recorded 141 fires, vis-a-vis 130 last year, spanning the same period.
Okay.
Then you realize that most of the fires that occur were bushfires, normally between January and February. And this happens because of the severity of the Harmattan weather.
Wow.
So if you take bushfires for this year, for instance, it was 48.
Okay.
If you deduct 48 from 141, you realize that we have about 88.5% increase in fires.
Okay.
And then that forms 34% of the total number of fire outbreaks that we have recorded this year.
Okay.
If you go back to last year, there were 28 bushfires between that period of January and February. So you realize that, and that also amounts to 30% of the fires that occurred last year, that period.
Right.
So you realize that most of the fires that we experience, January, February, is the one that makes it go up. And this is happening because, one, the severity of the Harmattan, as I've said already.
Okay.
Two, because we have trained a lot of vibrant youth as fire volunteers and have sent them out there at the communities.
Okay.
So any fire that they see, they quickly place calls to the fire service. That is why the number of bushfires have gone so high.
Oh, okay. So meaning that unlike before, now they are reporting on any recorded incidents.
Sure.
And that is also contributing to the larger numbers
Sure.
of bushfires. Can you take us through some of the causes of these fires that you have recorded in your region for the past 6 or 7 months?
Okay. The bushfires, for instance, we have grazers who normally set fire to the bush to get a new growth for their cattle.
Okay.
And this we've been advocating that they should stop. And we've been going to the chiefs to help us arrest the people.
Okay.
I remember last year we arrested some of them and sent them to the police station. And then Other causes are normal causes in domestic. Domestic dominates all the other fires.
Okay.
And the domestic fires are caused mostly by electricals and gas fires.
Wow.
And these are the main causes of the fires that we experience in the region.
All right. Thank you so much. If you are now tuning in, this is Fire Service in Focus, coming to you live from the Studios B of the Ghana National Fire Service TV here in Accra. And the program is also being beamed live on our socials. If you want to search us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all the other social media handles, you just type in to the search engine at GNFS Official, and you'll be good to join us now and then submit your questions, your suggestions, and what have you, so that at the appropriate time we'll have time to attend to them for you. In the course of the program, we would open the phone lines so that you could also call in. Very soon we'll announce the phone lines so that you would know. But for the meantime, you can send in your comments and your questions, and then we'll be glad to attend to them for you. In terms of property salvage, sir, how has the fire or the number of incidents that you've recorded contributed to costing a lot of property damage? And then how much of the property have your men been able to save from these incidents that you've recorded over the last 6 months or so?
Okay. The estimated cost of damages is around 200,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
And then those that we have salvaged is around 800,000.
Oh, okay. So meaning that the amount of property that you've been able to salvage outweighs that of those destroyed by these fires. Then it means that you are doing so much.
Yes.
So what has been the magic in your region? What has been the number one driving force that is making you achieve this great success?
We are trained to save lives and property. And our boys and ladies have the passion to save lives and property.
Wonderful.
So because of this, we put everything into it. The education is there, we are doing it. And when it comes to the incidents response to, we don't relent at all. We go in and then we do what we are supposed to do.
Wow. Wow. So if you are watching us from the Oxygen City, your commander is here. This is the phone lines to call in and when the lines will be open. I have not opened the phone lines yet, but the number is 050-960-8744. 050-960-8744. We'll give you the green light so that when the phone lines are open, you could also join in. Let us hear from you, especially those of you watching us live from the Oxygen City, that is the Volta Regional Command. Let me go to ACFO 1 Efum. Sir, watching the fire incident that occurred over the weekend at Kaswa New Market, I realized one thing, that most of the firemen, though they were in fire tunic, some of them were also in helmets, but I realized not all of them were in the BA set, that is a breathing apparatus. What is the issue? What is happening that most often than not we see firemen at incident scene not fully protected?
Yes, the fact on the ground is that we are not fully protected. The state has not been able to fully give us what is required. However, we are also aware that some of our personnel feel uncomfortable putting on some of the protective equipment. The issue is that when you are using the breathing apparatus, it is much more uncomfortable, like taking in the free air. And therefore, you need to practice with it so that when you get to the scene or the field, it will be easier working with the equipment that has been provided. But sometimes you do not blame them too much. Why don't you blame them? You don't blame them because all the filling plans that we have are down because they have expired. That notwithstanding, the service has been able to purchase some few potable filling plants that goes round. And so these ones are not able to get the enough quantity that we need on the ground. So mostly, if you are a commander and let's say you have about 10 cylinders, you don't want to waste 2 so that you are left with 8. So that might be one of the issues on the ground. But basically, we do have a few around that personnel are supposed to use to protect themselves. But the issue, once again, as I will repeat, is that they don't practice with it. And so if you don't practice with it and you go to the field, you feel a bit uncomfortable using the equipment. And that is the reason why we see some being protected and others going free like that. But we should bear in mind that the items on fire, it is not every smoke that is friendly. Even if the smoke is friendly, you don't need to toy with your life. Because if you inhale a lot more of these fumes that are coming up, by the time you are getting close to your retiring age, you see diseases, especially cardiac ones, coming up. And you forget that it was during your youthful age when you were strong and you thought you could face and go through the smoke. That is where you acquire all of these diseases for yourself. And so I would advise my officers that anytime you get to the field, use the little that is available to you so that you don't pick diseases for your future.
So viewers, if you have been watching us, this is Fire Service in Focus. From the Director of Public Relations, it is obvious that the state has not resourced the Ghana National Fire Service adequately enough to get its personnel who come to your end every now and then to salvage your lives and that of your properties. And therefore, this is the more reason why you would also have to advocate so that a dedicated insurance is given to protect all firefighters and rescuers, as well as adequate PPEs and other logistical requirements are provided so that we can be able to save you or to serve you better. Without these logistics, it becomes very difficult to serve you. Today, firemen are inhaling varying smokes of different toxicity, which is not good for their health. So please, this is not a joke. We are doing a lot. We are sacrificing our lives, but we need your support to be able to carry on. Oxygen Commander, I understand you've been christened Hakuna Matata. Is there any meaning to that? And why is it that your personnel would want to give you that serious name?
Hakuna Matata. You know, we are challenged with human resource and tools. So you need to find a way of motivating your people to be able to perform.
Great.
So based upon this, we adopted the slogan, Hakuna Matata. No fears or no worries. Hakuna Matata. Few in numbers, effective in delivery.
Wow.
It is a slogan we have adopted to make sure that it motivates them to be able to perform and perform very well. So maybe if they have used that as my name, my back name, then that is it.
So it means that there are lots that your people are doing. Let me take you back to some few months ago, around Bato Mepe area, when the Volta Dam was spilled by the Volta River Authority. Let our viewers understand the key role that you played in saving lives and then bringing hope to the hopeless, because we understand that when the incident happened, your men were the first to be there. But when the media came over and they were giving their reportage and giving praise where it is due, little was said about what your men did. In fact, I saw you lead your men to even donate. Can you give or throw more light on that and let our viewers understand that it's not just firefighting, but we also perform some humanitarian aspect of?
Okay. I want you to know that the command is very active and effective. The young boys are ready to work and do everything to save lives and property.
Great.
When the spillage occurred, our people were at the forefront of saving people. They rescued people, they saved people, they went to people's homes. Some of them who were not even willing to come out, but to take them out by force to safety. In fact, they did a lot. And after that, normally we do the first work, and then when we finish, others come and they come and take the credit. And that is precisely what happened. When the flood was occurring, our people were there saving people with northern lines, using different things to save people. But the time the media people got there, they had already done their part, and then they started giving them humanitarian services of water.
Okay.
That was what was happening. And after that, we even went beyond our mandate, seeing the nature of suffering they were going through without having clean water and others. We then mobilized the command to get a full truck of pure water or sachet water bags.
Okay.
More than 500 in a big truck. And some food items.
Okay.
Then we donated to them. And it was received by the Deputy Director of NADMO, Mr. Saji Seji.
Okay.
We were doing all these things for people to realize that when people are also in trouble, we fire service, we are there to help them.
Wow.
That is why we went there.
Wow. So that was a great one. I followed the happenings in that part of Ghana when the dam was spilled. And in fact, it was through the yeoman's job of the Volta Regional Command that a lot of lives were saved. And when it came to reporting on all that in the media, little or virtually nothing was said about the Ghana National Fire Service. We are your unsung heroes. We will continue to serve you. Do not go anywhere. The conversation is getting very interesting, and I bet you wouldn't want to leave or to tune off. Stick and stay with us whilst we go for this short break.
I came across power safety technology. So I introduced that into our residents, who are more than 4,000. And over the period, they have testified how power safety technology have saved them when the need arises.
Power safety. Safety is our hallmark.
I am Firewoman Nelly Lucky Apafo of Volta Regional Headquarters. So keep your dialogue on Fire Service TV. Thank you.
I'm leading fireman at the 2 Swansea. My phone to Volta Region Fire Service Headquarters. Me no Fire TV pom let me show you a jomu basuba a jomaga bimela mi apomo a jonya amanovi kakaga gbenang a jopena le mi kakaga gbenang eta Fire Service jagbado Fire TV ba mi ano anshonchon ta ma shaba na twin to Fire Service TV no Fire Service TV pom a shoncho Fire Service plus suba a joa e ma an gbenwa na didi fire safety. Thank you. Keep watching Fire Service TV. Thank you.
Welcome Our cherished viewers, this is Fire Service in Focus, a program that has been tailored with you in mind. Before we went for the break, the Oxygen Commander was telling us the yeoman's job they did when the Volta Dam, Akosombo Dam, was spilled, and a lot of people were affected as a result of the water that gushed out, destroying livelihoods, people's homes, and what have you. And when it came to reporting in the media, very little was said about the achievement of the fire service in that regard. So, sir, when you were giving us the briefs on the fire-related incident, you alluded to the fact that it went up a bit. So we want you to educate and then enlighten our viewers what you are going to do differently this time round to bring down the number of bushfires, domestic fires, and all the different types of fires that you have been recording in your region.
Well, what we are doing differently is to intensify our fire education campaign.
Okay.
Because of this, we have set up a fire education team besides the task force for safety and others.
All right.
And then what we've put in place is that every week we go to churches. We've tasked all the district to go to 2 churches every week, and the municipal, which is who, goes to 4 churches every weekend, and then 4 schools and 2 schools respectively. And then if there is a mosque in your place, you have to do it. This is besides the normal duties of going to institutions, companies, and so on. We've also been doing simulation exercises.
Okay.
As one of the ways to alert people to know what to do in case of any eventuality. Moreover, it is also used as a forum to educate the people. It will interest you to know that there is one big hotel in Volta region.
Wow.
We were trying to conduct simulation there for more than 2 years now. They were a bit hesitant. Last time when we pressed upon them, tried to enforce the law, they agreed.
Okay.
We did the simulation exactly 1 month. There was fire outbreak there.
Oh.
And they themselves confessed that the simulation helped them. So
Okay.
I want to use this forum to tell others that when we come and we want to do joint simulation and those things, they should allow us, they should open their doors so that we can do it for their safety. We are here because of them.
Okay.
So they should allow us and cooperate with us so that we can achieve good results. We also do quizzes and other things and competition among personnel so that all the time their skills will be sharpened.
Right.
These are some of the few things we do. There are many more.
Right. So viewers, the Oxygen Command is poised to bring you more when it comes to safeguarding your lives, your properties, your livelihoods, as well as the general communities in the Volta region. So what you have to do is to support them by adhering to their messages and then putting in measures to prevent the fires from occurring. Let me quickly move to ACFO 1 EFUM. ACFO, many a times the service is called upon to respond to structural collapse incidents. Not too long ago, even in Greater Accra, we have experienced a number of these structures under construction or even completed structures coming down, trapping people, ending the lives of people who could become very resourceful individuals in the society. Is the Ghana National Fire Service well resourced to be able to handle such emergencies? If not, what is management doing to be able to serve the interests of the Ghanaian people in such incidents?
If you ask me whether we are well resourced when it comes to rescue operations, the straightforward answer is no. We are nowhere resourced to be effective when it comes to rescue. But as resourceful as we are, we're able to put the little that we have at the exposure or at the expense of the people to ensure that we are always there to save them. For example, if you look at the structure that collapsed, we have needed things like excavators to be able to remove some of the debris. But here we don't even have one single excavator as a service. Not long ago, some excavators were seized and bent. I thought that those authorities who bent those excavators will have looked around and look at the government agencies that will have been in need of them and apportion those equipment to them, including the fire service. Yet that was not done. But I think if we are to effectively work, then government must have a second look at the fire service. You see, year in, year out, budget is submitted to successive governments, let me say to the state, to resource the fire service. This is the only rescue institution that we have in the country. And so if, judging by what is going on, if we want the fire service to be very effective, then we must put in resources into the Ghana National Fire Service. I know government is doing its part. I will, however, say that the effort is not enough, and therefore government must have a second look at the resources that it gives to us so that we could be appropriately resourced for such exigencies. You know, over the period, at least every year, we have 2 or 3 collapsed structures. And this is going to continue because, 1, supervision is a bit lacking. 2, development is fast outpacing the agencies that are to supervise. And so be expecting a little more of this happening. And if we are to curb or ensure that if they happen, those who are trapped are quickly extricated from the area, then the fire service must be resourced appropriately to ensure that people's lives are not put in danger, unnecessary danger, as we have been seeing. If you look at the recent one that happened over the weekend, what equipment did we go with? Virtually, it is that equipment that we use for road extrication that we sent there. So we have what we call spreader. And the spreader, you can use it in between two closed structures or objects and open a way for you to pass through. Apart from that, there was very little we could do. And so I am saying that as a nation, we don't even have one fully equipped rescue tender. And these are very critical when it comes to incidents like we had over the weekend. We ought to have equipment that are for heavy duty collapse like we experienced. Those ones come with the equipment needed for such operations. So I'll urge once again, yes, we know the state is doing its part, but it is now time for individuals and those who have the wherewithal to also come on board to support government to well equip the fire service to perform its functions effectively.
So viewers, do not sit aloof and just pretend that all is well with the Ghana National Fire Service. We need this sophisticated, modern rescue and firefighting tools and equipment to be able to save your life. Please, the state, as we have already indicated, is doing it best. But those of us who have the financial muscle and then the ability to even procure some of this equipment for the use of the fire service, this is the time. It could happen to any one of us, could happen to your relative. So please, it is high time we also came to the aid of the Ghana National Fire Service to be able to serve our interests. So, Oxygen Commander, Hakuna Matata, sir. That is you doing your best with the very little resources that has been or have been allocated to you. We want to understand what is the state of the fire appliances in your region. Are they all in commission? How many have broken down? And what are the strategies or measures being taken to bring them back to road, sir?
First of all, you know that the equipments, they are all aged.
Okay.
So they break down often. But whenever it breaks down, we do our best to refix them.
Great.
So that it will come back on the road and continue to be used to save lives and property. So that is it. Currently, we have 12 functional fire tenders,
Okay.
which are working. We have 3 which are out of commission. Those ones, the management is doing his best to make sure they are refixed. So that is it. 2 stations don't have fire tenders at all.
Okay.
In my region, I have 16 ready stations, or fully fledged.
Okay.
I have 1 which has also been completed but is yet to be commissioned as we are waiting for a tender. And then we have 3 fire posts and a regional headquarters.
Oh, okay.
But all the tenders we have are 12. Out of the 12, it's only 4 that have extrication equipment. So they are strategically distributed along the areas that experience accidents the most, so that they can perform or we can utilize them very well. So that is the state of situations in my region.
All right, so viewers, this is an assurance from the Volta Regional Commander, Hakuna Matata, effectively deploying 12 tenders in such a way that even areas without are taken care of. So what you have to do is that anytime there is fire, quickly call the emergency line and they will be there to help you. So let me find out from you, what has been the collaboration between your command and our key stakeholders, such as Ghana Water, Limited, ECG, and all the other stakeholders that matter in helping you to execute your mandate?
Our cooperation, or their cooperation, has been good. Some time ago, there were some few problems with the ECG.
Okay.
But National took it up, and I think it has been resolved.
Wonderful.
With Water Corporation, for instance, sometimes when we have fire scenes, we have fire incident, and there is no water in hydrant close to where the incident is, we call them and then they redirect the water to us. So they are cooperating. Moreover, in relation to road crashes, we've been liaising with the National Road Safety Authority head in the region. And we'll be showing films on the causes of accidents, what you should do to prevent it, causes of fire and its prevention at lorry stations, lorry parks, and populated areas. So I can confidently tell you that the cooperation of our stakeholders is so high.
The cooperation and the collaboration with the Oxygen Command and its stakeholders, very, very good. Thank you so much. Let me quickly find out from you, sir. How has the support from the chiefs, the traditional authority, and then well-meaning individuals and institutions in your command been? Are they helping you to establish new stations? You talked about fire volunteers, establishing new vibrant squads to help you deal with that. So in terms of legacy projects, if today you are leaving Volta region, what are you leaving behind for your successor, sir?
Mother Teresa said, not all can do great things.
Great.
But all can do small things in a great way.
Wonderful.
So certainly not all of us can leave legacy projects. But we can leave legacies that will help the command to continue striving for years to come.
Wonderful.
One of The legacy project that we'll talk about is we just commissioned a, how do you call it, a fire post at Adaklu Ahunda.
Oh, okay.
Keta Municipal, which happens to be the only district which is not having a fire station, has also tried to renovate some place for us. Incidentally, we are about to post personnel there when the wind and the rain ripped off the roofing.
Oh,
so they are still on it.
Quite unfortunate.
And I will tell you that Whole West has also finished their project, which is about to commission. Okay. Beyond that, Southdyne, we have been able to get a land from the district assembly.
Wonderful.
We have mobilized stones onto sites. Last 2 weeks, the DCE promised me that he's also going to bring sand and blocks. And then we'll commission, he will come and cut a sod for the commencement of the project.
Okay.
These are some of the things that I can mention of. But beyond that, we make sure that we train the people very well so that they will continue to function and function very well.
Right.
For the future.
So viewers, if you listen to the commander well, it means that a lot of projects are ongoing. Fire posts being established, fire stations being put up to be able to bring our services closer to the people of the Volta region. He has succeeded in training his personnel in such a way that they are able to effectively and efficiently respond to whatever emergency call that come their way. ACFO Afum, I think today's discussion has much or largely depended on the need for the Ghana National Fire Service to be retooled, to be able to take up a rightful position to serve the people that has given us this mandate. So we want to find out from you, the same people who castigate us, insult us, and then malign us for whatever motives best known to them, are asking that we provide them with an update about the ongoing recruitment. Have we started calling people? Has medicals been, people being called for medicals? And what have you? Can you, sir, please give us an update so that the teeming number of applicants who put in applications to join us, to know their fate, what to do next, and to be vigilant so that they are not scammed out there?
So, for all those of you who applied or requested to join us by sending your information to us, we've not yet proceeded with the second phase. Sorting has been done and completed, waiting for go ahead so that we can call you to come for the next phase. As soon as that information is out, in as much as we'll send you individual information, we also put it across our various platforms for you to know exactly what is going on so that you will not be scammed. Just relax. At the appropriate time, you will hear from us. Don't rush into going to pay money to people that will end up scamming you. Nowadays, money is difficult to come by, and we expect that you will be very alert so that you don't fall prey to people who are always eager to squeeze the little money that you have from you. Therefore, I'll urge all of you, just be on a standby. As soon as the next phase begins, we'll put it on our various platforms for you to know before we even send you the messages.
So viewers, if you've been watching, this has been Fire Service in Focus, coming to you live from Studios B of the Fire Service TV. The phone line to call in now is 050-960-8744. 050-960-8744. Director of Public Relations is here, ACFO 1 Efum, and then Oxygen City Commander, Volta Regional Commander, in the person of Deputy Chief Fire Officer Joy Ameibo. Sir, DCFO, I want to find out from you, what has been the morale of your personnel? What is their morale like? And then you end it up with your relationship between your command and then that of the media in the region. Have they been so good to you, or they give you bad publicity?
I would like to go back a bit on the projects.
Okay.
There are two Shia community and then somewhere around Have, who are also, they have shown us some buildings that they are renovating. Great. So that we can either turn them to a fire post or a fire station. You also asked about our relationship with the chiefs. Indeed, the chiefs have been so cooperative.
Wonderful.
Most of them. Because since I went, I've been to the Regional House of Chiefs 2 times, and it is out of those engagements that we had more volunteers to be trained.
Okay.
So their cooperation is good.
All right.
And then you say, what is the morale in my region? The morale is very high. As I told you, Hakuna Matata.
Great.
No fears and no worries. Despite our challenges, we are still on top of our job.
That is encouraging.
We are still on top of our job. We strategize very well, and we make sure we perform as required. Anytime we are called to incident, we never disappoint. That is how come last year, March 6th, whilst the celebration was going on in Volta region, there was fire in the studios of in the GBC Volta branch.
Okay.
We were able to douse the fire within minutes.
Great.
That never created any trouble or chaos or confusion.
Wonderful.
Looking at what was speculated before the anniversary.
Okay.
Then our relationship with the media, I can tell you that they have not given us a bad reportage. Our cooperation with them is very good. We call them to our events, they come, and then they understand us. The only thing they have not done is that we have written and asked that they should come themselves, so that we'll come and educate them fully, so that they should be part. That one, they have not responded.
Okay.
But the relationship is very good. Morale is very high. And I can confidently assure you that Volta region is on top of its issues.
Wow.
Whatever happens, despite the challenges, we will contain it.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That is so refreshing to hear, that irrespective of the myriads of challenges that the command faces, the command is ever ready to respond to any emergency that will confront it. So we are wrapping up ACF Wafum. What would you want to give our viewers in terms of our functions and myriad, numerous functions vis-a-vis the challenges with logistical requirements?
So my last words to our officers and personnel is that management is aware of the challenges on the ground, and that I can only reassure you that efforts are seriously in place to equip the service, both in terms of equipment and PPE. And so personnel should be rest assured. Don't lose hope. There is hope ahead of us. The light is bright and it's coming. It will arrive very soon. And so all of us should be aware that good things are coming. To the general public, in spite of the challenges that we face currently, be assured that government is doing all it can to re-equip the fire service. We, on our part, pledge to come to your aid anytime there is any emergency. You just don't have to wait. Immediately the emergency occurs, you are the first person to get in touch with the fire service. Don't think or anticipate that your friend or someone has already called the fire service. you call immediately anytime you realize that there is an emergency, so that we can be there on time. Most often when incidents occur, everybody thinks that someone has called, and we end up blaming the fire service for not arriving early. I have always been saying that we are not there yet. In the advanced countries, anytime there is an emergency, an alarm is triggered at the fire station, and so fire service respond accordingly. But here, unless you call the fire service will not be able to know that there is an emergency somewhere. So it is incumbent on you. It is a duty. It is your responsibility to ensure that anytime there is an emergency, you call the fire service and will be there on time to be of help to you. Other than that, by the time we get there, things might have gotten out of hand.
So viewers, please try and call us as quickly as possible. I understand there's a caller on the line. Let's pick the caller and then come and take the final words of the Oxygen Commander. Hello, caller. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. May we know your name and where you're calling us from?
Living for a Mantepo.
Okay.
Currently, national headquarters.
Wonderful.
I just got to salute my boss over there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what's your concern?
It's about what have been the discussion going on.
Okay. Let's hear
you. And then the good leader that he was to me under his this thing. I was with him before I took transfer to national headquarters now. So I called just to salute him.
Oh, okay. So just to give a shout out to your boss. That is good.
Exactly.
That is good. That is good. That is good. Thank you so much for joining us. So, sir, you have the cameras at your mercy. What do you have for the people in your region, and then what do you also have for your personnel?
Okay. First of all, I want to appeal to the public out there that firefighting is a shared responsibility. Government is doing its bit, but he cannot do all. Therefore, they should come to our aid. They can walk to any fire station, have a chat with them. Whichever way they can help, it will go a long way in saving lives and property. So we are urging them. I know Volta has a lot of capable people who can do a lot for the fire service. So they should try their best and then help us. To my personnel, I want to tell them, Ayiko, despite everything, they are working very hard. Our mechanics, our PRO, always on the air and everything. And I think it is helping us a lot. That is why this time, most of the fires that occur in homes, by the time we get there, the fire is out on arrival, and then the damage too is very, very minimal. It tells us that their work, their outreach is going out there. So I want to tell them, Ayiko, to the media, a lot of them, when we approach them, they have given us free airtime, and we've been broadcasting. They have not hindered our, how do we call it?
Public education
efforts. So we say we thank them and we pray that they will help us and do more. We cherish this relationship.
Great.
To my course mates, course 25, they were also part of the people who helped us to get those things to the people of Mefe.
Okay.
My course mates and those outside, plus the people in my command.
Wow.
I say we thank them and we appreciate them.
Wow.
And then the last thing I would like to say is to cite a caution to bulk storage vehicle drivers.
Okay.
And then the oil marketing companies.
Great.
That the accidents on the road involving the BRVs is becoming one too many. We might not be lucky all the time. So we are urging them that they should give safety tips at least every month to their drivers so that they will be very patient and careful on the road. Same goes to the drivers. They should be extremely careful and patient while driving, because those accidents are becoming one too many across the nation, and we might not be lucky all the time. So this is my plea to them.
Wow. Wow.
And to finish, I want to commend the PR department here too for the wonderful work. When I was doing my writing at the school, my brother seated on my right hand is the one who encouraged me a lot. So I am grateful to him too.
Teacher Kofi, Mr. Oracle and Hakuna Matata says he's grateful for the support over the years. Viewers, this is where we'll draw the curtains on today's program. I believe it has been so much impactful and insightful. This is what we seek to do, to bring you everything concerning how we operate, our challenges, so that you listening out there would also contribute your quota in addition to what government is doing in terms of retooling the service. The service has come a long way. We are over 60 years now, and we cannot continue to do our things the way we did it in the last 60 years. That is why we need your support. Please join us same time next week, Monday, 2 p.m. This has been your host, DO3 Desmond Aka. Thanks for joining us.